Hello, you all. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to take a dive into something different for a second. I was having a conversation with my father yesterday, and we had a little chat going, talking about a lot of different things. And one big thing was traveling. And it's so crazy though, 'cause like me and my dad done been through some crazy situations when it got to do with traveling. If it ain't no ramp, the button on the door. If it ain't no button on the door, you gotta open it yourself. If they don't got a ramp and it's stairs, and you gotta figure out another way to get in, or does somebody try to play like it ain't no way to get in and there is, or let's say another one we hear yesterday. Somebody had somebody had came up to our table we was eating at, and they literally like right coming through the door off rip. And I want to shout out uh the Lyft driver, my dog. You know me well. Can't think, you feel me? I don't want to say too much of your business, but big love to you. Shout out to you. Um, But he became to add a little more. He became a usual driver because like he always pop up when I need a ride, and it's so crazy because I don't know if I really start traveling the way I want to, he'd definitely be somebody on the list to contact. Like, But anyway, we as I was coming into like the restaurant or whatever, um as I was coming to the restaurant, whatever, one of the, I guess, the waiters or whatever they call had certain sections, and the one that was where we were sitting at, I don't know, like I really didn't like her vibe. First off, because it wasn't, hey, how you doing? How may I help you? It wasn't on that type of level. It's, oh no, I don't think you can sit here. It's a safety hazard, and just went off that. And I'm just like, hold on. Can I see where I'm supposed to be first? Like, can I get comfortable? Can you I mean, some I just feel like she was just doing that. Like with what she said, she was just doing the most. Like I can understand if you told me to move right then and there. Or excuse me, ma'am. With the walkway being so small, I can understand if she just said, "Hold, it's a table right over there." But instead, she said the table was empty. And once we got to the table, come to find out the table was empty. And I was just like, huh? Like, is she new here? But I'm not trying to bash her or anything. It's just like it's just like the way she came at me. And believe it or not, I never been at the restaurant. We was at BJ's, but I never been at the restaurant. My sister said of course, she picked it because it was she got BJ's out there in DC, and that's somewhere she usually go to kick it, whatever. But yeah, I just had to give y'all a little sense of why I'm rather talk about this today, because I don't know, it's just like that conversation we had in the restaurant, and then that little situation before we even ate. I don't know, it just had me on another note. And I always said I wanted to travel, but then again, I always felt like the wheelchair or the scooter or the walker or the crutches always held me back. Literally. And then I'm like, okay, what if I did travel? Like, what if I was doing it? Like, I don't feel like it'd be like a hit or miss for me. It'd be more of a learning experience because not everybody deal with what I'm used to, or not everybody see things the same way, not being in the same predicament, if you know what I mean. But no, my a while back before Corona, my family exactly was talking about going on a cruise, and I was into it. I'm like, okay, how much I need to save up? Da, 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 let me know. You know, I got the kids too, so you gotta give me a you gotta give me time to save up some money so we can do this. So I was geeked, but the whole Corona thing, I'm gonna just say C word because I don't know if YouTube gonna do something with my video for saying that, but um, yeah, the C word just messed everything. Just everything changed for everybody, literally. But now that I mean, yeah, stuff is settling down, and yeah, some spots are still rising. But I still want to have fun. I still want to travel. I still want to do all the things that I wanted to, like all my goals and everything. I still want to do it. So I was thinking about going to Jamaica, Africa, Jamaica, Canada, just about anywhere and everywhere, just for the experience. I'm telling you, I love new experiences, but well, traveling at that, because not only that, it really lets you get to know the the lifestyle of certain people, the mind frame certain people be in, what they're used to, what's not really ordinary for them, or where they're from. It's different. But we gonna get into this video because I feel like I'm talking too much. I've been talking for about 7 minutes. I know I need to be quiet, I know. But but we about to. I'm not sure the guy's name. I was watching a video on the TV, but I was like, oh, you know what? I can do that. Da da da. But um, take a little visual venture on here, Jamaica, and see some other places, and just give my little input on how I feel about certain things. So let's jump into this because I'm sure it's gonna be a roller coaster. Seeing what's up.
Traveling more than ever before. Because while the world is a pretty big place to explore, your next vacation is waiting to be discovered not just around the globe, but perhaps just around the corner. Let me introduce you to the places, people, and secrets I've discovered that remind me just how exciting it is to be alive, and hopefully will inspire you to get out of the house and into your next great adventure. I am Eric the Travel Guide, and this is Beyond Your Backyard.
Eric the Travel Guy. Okay, that's the name. Jamaica.
Thank you for watching and welcome to Jamaica. You know, perhaps like you, my first visit to this Caribbean island was on a day trip from a cruise itinerary. It wouldn't be until years later and a longer stay that I would begin to truly appreciate the authenticity of Jamaica. You know, some have proclaimed that this island has a vibe that's unique and found nowhere else in the world. Well, we seek to uncover that special something that brings millions of visitors here each year. We will go ziplining over Dunn's River Falls. Yes, we'll learn the history and culture by exploring. I mean, there's lots of places to go, but there's something unique about Jamaica that I can't quite put my finger on. And you guys talk a lot about it. What is it?
It has a lot to do with the people. It's all about the people, the culture, the music, the lifestyles. We have a mixture of various races, like from Africa, North, South America, and Asia, cultural background, cultural mix. And all cultures bring their parts of their world to Jamaica, make it a blending pot. And at the same time, we are like a laid back group of people that enjoys life to the fullest.
Why do these caves exist?
It was created beneath the sea, roughly by a combination of dead aquatic life. And then what is believed is that a volcano beneath Jamaica is what shifted the tectonic plates and forcing the massive cave from under the sea. And it became a hideout for many generations of people, and now an attraction today.
How long does it take to go through them?
It's about a 45-minute tour.
That's it, so pretty easy.
It's pretty easy.
And where are we, by the way?
We're now in Discovery Bay, St. Anne, Jamaica.
St. Anne, which is between Montego Bay and where are we on the north
We
coast?
are very close to Trelawney.
Got it.
Close to the Trelawney cruise ship pier. Trelawney is also close to Montego Bay. And we're about half an hour towards Ocho Rios.
Well, let's go take a look.
Why not?
Jamaican history has a unique story to it, doesn't it?
That is true. Columbus was told by Cubans they were the land of gold. His arrival in Jamaica was actually for riches.
This is 1494.
1494. But eventually the Tainos, they thought the Spaniards were gods, offered hospitality, but then they became slaves. So that led to the Spanish taking over in 1509. So it became Santiago, right? And what the Spaniards did in Jamaica, it was a storage facility at first.
Yeah, and that's something I was gonna say earlier about like the culture too, because it's being black, well, African American, and like knowing our history and what we went through with slavery and all that. Like, I don't know, that just made me want to go there, like take a deep dive, and not even just to have fun, but like your background, all that. Well, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So they shot the final scenes of him being chased through this cave.
And actually, I like the fact that I'm seeing a flat surface. Because believe it or not, I've been a couple places where it's a hill or gotta do extra.
They come in for the first time.
Flat. I like
what do they
flat.
say?
Many people are getting to the cave there now. Like entering this is like into a
And if water is a thing, just give me like a floaty on my arms and probably the life jacket thing, and depending on how deep, then we can.
Yeah. All of this structure here was a part of an 80s nightclub. They had a nightclub inside the
A
place.
nightclub?
I'm serious. So we clean the caves of any garbage. We
That's
don't kill
scary.
trees, don't burn bushes.
I would be scared
Sensor
to be in
lights.
there.
The only commandment is a tour.
How many people go
And
through
it's
there?
dark.
It can be up to maybe 1,000 people or maybe 500 on a cruise ship day. On an average day, maybe like 200
I
people.
would be so creeped out.
People hid inside the cave.
And it's so crazy because I like my house dark. I love the dark. But there, I'd be afraid.
You see, the English, they came in 1655, May 10th. General Robert Van Nettel's Admiral William Penn's army. But one particular man was here. Cristobal Arnaldo Assassin. He's what you had. He was the last Spanish governor of the island of Jamaica.
All I gotta do is duck for
hide
real.
out in this cave until they get an opportunity to escape.
I mean, not even really
duck.
duck. Because I'm 4'11", but sitting down, I'm shorter than that. So I can just, ride on.
And that passage is direct.
Oh, wow.
That's what we call today the escape routes. The system of the cave is actually two caves. There is the current one you're in by the name of Runaway Caves. It was named after the African system, primarily used by them as secret hideouts until they had the opportunity to flee to the hills. They were known as people of the hills, so they try to go to the hills, create their villages, create their armies to rebel against the English. However, the cave after this is the popular known Green Grotto, which in greenery has to do with the color on the rocks. Two types of things on the rocks: oxidized copper and the water plant algae. Grotto is Latin meaning cave with underground water. And in fact, if both caves are joined together, it goes 10 miles in length, 28 square miles in width. It's like a hidden secret revealed.
That's kind of
Come for the first time. What do people, to get inside these caves, what do they say to you?
They are amazed, they're in awe, they fought.
Reluctant to leave the confines of their gated resort. The local economy's success is based on the exports of sugar. Blue Mountain Coffee, and the mining industry. But tourism also plays a major role here. From large, all-inclusive resorts to quaint seaside hotels, the tourism infrastructure is firmly in place, which is yet another reason this island is attractive to foreign vacation thrill seekers. English is spoken here by the locals, as well as regional dialects, and most Jamaicans understand the importance of tourism in their country. What can they expect when they get here?
You're going to expect a well-trained guide, well-schooled horses, and the experience is memorable. It's an experience of a lifetime. You get here, you're meted by a friendly and vibrant hostess. You know, they point out places of interest, what to do, what not to do. You mount your horses. You go off into the trail ride, which is very scenic. You get back to the stable, change in here somewhere, then you go plunge in the ocean and those majestic views. They only have 1 horsepower, so all you gotta do is have a good time.
Unless
Why do you keep coming to work every day? For you?
I don't know about the horse
Put
though.
a smile in people's face.
But that'd be
I love
fun
to see them
though.
have a good time. They
So I ain't
don't
never
value
been
for
on a
money.
horse.
You talk
And
to
the
them,
horse
they want
is
to come back.
actually in a
Some of them
war.
don't even want to leave.
So
How
that's
long should people
different.
stay when they come here for the first time?
5 days a week is good. 2 days in Montego Bay, another 2 days in Negril, another day in Ochi, and then you just drop things up and try to leave, really.
Time to play. There's a reason you say that, right?
Yes, it's very important to us here at Chukka that we cater for all the parties involved. We want to have something for all age, for all demographics. Once you're on the island, there's something here at Chukka for you to do. Whether it's horseback riding, whether it's doing the ATV cars, the zip lining, or the river tubing, there's something here at Chukka for everyone to participate in.
Well, and it's worth noting that, there are other companies that do what Chukka does. But the reality of it is, you start hedging your bets on, you can't afford to get it wrong when you're on vacation. How many locations in the country are we working with here?
We're working on about 15 different locations. You have in Falmouth, you have in Montego Bay, you have in Hanover. What we try to do is to have a Chukka location to close to every tourism area. So you don't have to drive for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. The word Chukka is from the sport polo. There's 5 Chukka in a polo match. And each break is called a Chukka. So that's what it is.
That's it.
And they
That
come to the
little
owner
symbol
started
look
off by
like the
playing
polo.
polo. And then one evening they were on the horses having a good match. And after that, they just decided to take the horses for a swim in the water. And there comes our first tour horseback rider swim.
So somebody said, I think people that are coming to visit would like to do this.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
This was 35 years ago?
35 years ago. Yeah.
And people, when they come back, what do they tell you when they get off their first tour? What do they say?
Wow, this is amazing. I will do this all over again. And of course, I will surely recommend it to my friends and family.
You come to Jamaica, you're obviously coming for the water. Let's talk about Jamaica itself. What else, from an outdoor perspective, do you recommend that they do?
First, I'd want for them to get off property and experience real Jamaica, true Jamaica. Because of course, we all know the resorts are beautiful, they're comfortable, the staff, they're friendly, the food is good. But to get a sense of place, you must leave the resort.
What does it mean to be native Jamaican?
It means everything to us. I'm a proud Jamaican, yes, and I really feel good and embrace the visitors, and I just want them to be in our island just to see what we have to offer. It's much more than the sun, the sea, and the
boat
sand.
ride.
It's just the friendliness of the people. The environment itself is friendly. It's so fresh here.
Yeah.
So just to be a native
I
Jamaican,
think
just to
maybe
be
I
free
need to-
spirited. You wake up, you see the sunshine, the fresh air, the foods here are good, the vegetables are.
We're at Great House, once a working village and sugar plantation in the 1700s. Good Hope Estate is the Caribbean's first and only nature adventure park, with an unparalleled variety of adventures and cultural experiences. After all the fun, I was exhausted. But back to work, people. Time and time again, I visit Jamaica, and what I continue to learn is that the visitor experiences, the things you're going to be doing when you come to visit, they're personal and they're fun. Rigid schedules turn into more of a guideline, so to speak. Some call it island time.
Fish?
The surroundings
Oh,
and
that's
the activities
scary.
lend itself to soaking.
I mean, it's not scary because they like little fishes, but just being in the water
If you're
and
looking
fishes
for more
are
of an
around
active way
me.
to get close to
I
the
think I
scenery,
kinda
I
freak
have a
out.
suggestion. You get on an ATV. Let's do this, people.
Four-wheeling?
After a short and thorough safety lesson, I traversed the rugged terrain with an expert guide. I loved it. So, to keep the high going, the crew and I made a visit to Dunn's River Falls. This is one of the most popular attractions
Oh,
in
that's
Jamaica. But I
pretty.
decided to see the falls from a different
But the
vantage
walk
point.
of it, nah. But that site is
There are
pretty.
these places in the world where you just simply have to do it. Of course, this is Dunn's River Falls, and some of you may have already hiked up the falls before, but one of the newest attractions here is to take a zip line over the falls. It's pretty remarkable. After a lot of laughs,
I want to
healthy shot
do
of
that.
adrenaline, I got out of the safety
Go
harness
zip
barely,
lining?
and was ready for an authentic Jamaican meal. In 2014, I met a fascinating entrepreneur named Annie, whose passion for Jamaican cuisine is so overwhelming, I knew I had to return.
Let's see what they eating.
Why do I love this place specifically? What is going on here?
All right, well, first of all, it is an authentic Jamaican experience. Really passionate about Jamaica and Jamaican food. And so every day I try and do something new, add something, obviously Jamaican, but with a twist to it.
Yeah. What do you got here? What are we
Okay,
starting?
so we started with this. This is actually vegan.
Mhm.
And this is a miniature bami.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, bami is made from cassava.
Right.
We do our mango chutney, which is
Okay.
on the bottom. And then I'm sure you've heard about our ackee.
The national fruit. What is it?
Ackee.
Got it. Where does it grow?
Right here, we actually have a
You have
tree out
some
in
on
the
the
yard,
back?
yeah, which we usually have with saltfish. But just to show you how we've done it a little different here, we curry it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's a crispy with the sweet and then the savory with the curry.
Miss T's.
Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh
If
my
I
god.
go to Jamaica,
It's called Jano.
I wanna
What is,
try
what's going
that.
on in here?
This is what we call coconut jelly. Cheers.
Cheers.
But this one is my
Coconut
favorite,
jelly?
for sure. This is what we call saltfish, codfish.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do it in a pickle. So let me set it up for you. It may be spicy, so be careful.
Even better.
This is saltfish with all the pickled onions, and there you go. Throw that right in.
The whole thing? I don't want to keep the whole thing.
They look like banana
I don't have that big
peppers on a cracker. No, I'm not
Oh my god.
being disrespectful, but that's kind of what that remind me of.
What does it mean?
Like the vegan crackers with
to
banana
be
peppers on it. That's what that
authentic
remind me.
Jamaican? As it pertains to the culinary scene, we'll start there.
Our motto is out of many one people.
Mhm.
So you find that we include so many other cultures in our cooking. Yeah, and when we do a curry, at least when I do a curry here, I use all the Jamaican herbs and spices fresh,
Mhm.
and then I also mix in the Indian curries with it, like
Got it.
garam masala, the cumin, the
Mhm.
understand? But
Mhm.
I'm still using the Jamaican Scotch bonnet, the garlic, onions, pimento, thyme, ginger, and everything is basically seasoned and prepped with that. People, the spinners are actually made that out of flour
Oh, got it. Oh,
with
got
a
it.
little coconut again,
Yep.
and we just roll it together into a dough, and then we spin them out with a lot of love, and there you have your spinners. And then the beans are actually broad beans.
They're broad beans. Okay, got it. Am I going to find bones in here or no?
Yeah, you find bones. Jamaican, we love to eat with bone, eh? With the goat, you have to add a little chutney.
Oh, I love
So you
chutney.
see how we mix it up a little bit?
I love it. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're making a curry goat, what do you use? What part of the goat do you use?
I mean, I like the part closer to the rib because it's really bony and nice. Mm-hmm.
But you know, the curry,
Mhm.
there's the heat,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so mild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I took that bite a minute ago, and
Mhm.
now, oh, it's
Mhm.
lovely, lovely.
And I
This
tell
is,
people all the time, you come to Miss T's, pretend you're at home. But this is the best part.
I know.
So you take up that bone.
Oh, no.
Mm.
Come on.
Mm.
When you do it, it looks elegant.
Mm.
I don't know how you do it.
Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm. Most people be like, you don't want to eat goat or oxtail.
Well, it doesn't appear to be a very approachable thing
Right.
in some cultures. Like, well, I'm not eating that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's done right, it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now we get to
Oh my gosh.
run down.
Now hold on, you said rundown. What does that mean?
So rundown is we get the coconut milk and we cook it down for a long time,
Really?
and then it comes to a cream. So this the same coconut but the dry one.
That's it.
We grate it, we juice the milk out of it, and then we
Okay,
cook it
let's
down.
see
So we
what
call
else.
it rundown.
How long?
So it can take 20-30 minutes before it starts to come to that
The
cream.
video about to be
These are not
over,
the Scotch bonnet pepper, but you know,
so
the
we
green one.
gonna see what else we can find on the Jamaica side of things, cause this video about to be over after they get done eating. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, come on. I want to see what's going on. My Wi-Fi, what's going on? Come on. Oh, no, it don't say play. You tripping.
My name is James.
Okay.
My commute to work isn't too bad, thanks in large part to the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. It definitely takes a lot of effort. The hardest part is getting in and out of the car.
See, that's what you get.
I'm an animator and editor at the World Bank.
Well, put
We
it in
produce
the
videos about people all over the world who are lifting themselves out of poverty. From my edit suite, I get to watch footage from around the world. And in the back of my head, I've been thinking, how do the world's poorest people with disabilities, say people in wheelchairs like me, manage to live and work? These are countries struggling to provide even basic services like roads, let alone ramps. So in the studio, I pack up some gear with my awesome colleague, Peter. We're headed for an epic adventure.
That's dope.
Here, we are boarding the plane.
Oh,
And here is what it looks like in my head.
pause. Let me just say this, bro. I don't know who you are. Never met you. Never experienced your channel before. But this little airplane thing. Oh, I remember that, and that was just the most dramatic moment for me ever. Because it's just like, I don't know, but I want to see what you're gonna say, and I'm just gonna feed off your vibe. But I'm gonna be honest though, as far as my experience.
Animation, it's what I do. James, hold on. No. We fly from Washington, D.C. to Kingston, Jamaica, a country I've never visited. Oh God, I'm slipping. Most people think beaches, palm trees, drinks with rum. But Jamaica is also an energetic country of 2.7 million people. And unfortunately, it has one of the slowest growing economies in the developing world. An estimated 15% of Jamaicans live with some sort of disability. That includes deafness, blindness, mental issues, and physical disabilities. But Jamaica is stepping up to the plate. With support from the World Bank, they passed a Disability Act in 2014 to promote job training and accessibility for all. My plan is to hang out with Patrick. He received a grant to train as an electric wheelchair mechanic and start a business outside of Kingston.
Okay, Patrick.
Luckily, we find a van to get there. Our driver, Derek, says it's the only one for hire in Jamaica that's equipped for wheelchairs. And with a little robotic help, Patrick and I are face to face. Patrick.
Hi, James.
Nice to meet you. I'm
Really pleased.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me. He shows me around his shop he designed and built.
Oh, this is it. This is the shop.
Yeah, so you got a whole warehouse going here.
Yeah.
And we talk non-stop for hours about our work and our lives and the usual stuff. Patrick is a part-time photographer. He's got a bunch of girls too.
Yeah. When we did at the party, we realized that the girls, them wish them could have a photograph, man, right? So, we get myself a camera and start take picture and dance and when we look. You know, so we just find it as a new job.
We also talk about our injuries.
T4.
Ah, you're T4, okay. Yeah, so I'm above that, I'm T2. That's wheelchair code. Counting from the top, humans have 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, and another 5 sacral where our tails used to be. Patrick suffered a gunshot wound 22 years ago and was injured right about here. For me, a snowboarding accident 16 years ago crushed a couple of vertebrae here, higher up. So Patrick has more use of his upper body than I have of mine. That's the difference. The similarities are mental. We both have a drive to do something productive, basically to earn a living, preferably doing something we enjoy. The first thing that I thought of was like, oh God, like I'm not gonna be able to do anything.
I get it.
But then like, I was like, wait a minute, I can sit in front of a computer. And so instantly I was like, I'm trying to learn as much as I could.
And then the brain started to put more to what you want to do.
Yeah. But as we talk, I'm wondering, it's great to want a job, but how easy is it to work in a developing country when you're in a chair? So fast forward to the next day, and I'm about to find out. This is a market in central Kingston.
And he didn't explain his ride on the plane, so I feel like there's no need to explain mine, but yeah.
We traveled just a few blocks, but it takes forever. My eyes are glued to my foot plate. I don't want it to get stuck and flip me over.
No, wait, hold on.
It's exhausting and
I think he got a go-go like me. What? Ain't his name I think his name Patrick. Yes.
Patrick from
Yes.
the movie?
No, not that. No. No. Patrick on this video here.
That's the name Patrick.
unbelievably hot.
Okay, I don't know. Let's see.
That's Patrick.
Peter has to help me out. It's exhaust plate. I don't want it to get stuck and flip me over.
Yep, he got a go-go. What looked like a go-go. He even got his
Peter has to help me out.
camera on there. See?
It's exhausting and
Patrick.
unbelievably hot. Because of my injury, I don't sweat, and I have to keep pounding water so I don't overheat in the sun. This is tiring. It is not easy to get around. You have to be paying attention all the time. It's all different. So like you'll do one curd cut and make it, but then the next one will be different. So then you got to figure out what to do. A disabled Jamaican named Marlon was killed by a bus in the same area the previous year. I've seen the photo of his crushed wheelchair. Since sidewalks aren't a good fit, we're forced to share the road with traffic. Cars fly by. Jamaicans drive on the left. My American brain is very confused when traffic comes from the other way. I'm thinking of Marlon a lot right now. All to buy some food for dinner. Can I buy 3 onions? Please. And I just saw the hot peppers too. So yeah, mobility in Jamaica is a big problem. So how do people get to work? Patrick says most buses are designed to be wheelchair friendly, but the accessible sections have been crammed with extra seats. So public transportation isn't an option. If you're wealthy enough to have a car, parking is an issue. And even if you can get transport to your workplace, you face curbs and stairs and few ramps.
Yes.
The Jamaican Disability
Yes.
Act will change that, but it will take time.
Yeah.
Old buildings will be converted, and new buildings will be accessible. It's slow, but hey, it's progress. The World Bank-funded Abilities Foundation is also providing training to mentally and physically disabled Jamaicans. These men are learning carpentry. The foundation also teaches furniture making, landscaping, and sewing. Meet Therese. She studied computer skills here, and now she's an assistant instructor. I think she's inspiring because she wants to give back to the community.
I feel very fortunate
That's
because
dope.
it's good when you can offer back to your own community. And when I said my own community, I'm talking about the disabled
She
community.
want to give back.
And Patrick, he feels that way too, about giving back. It seems like he knows everybody in Jamaica, disabled or not. He could have stayed in America
Is that a
where he studied
GoPro?
wheelchair repair, but he decided
On
to
his
return to Jamaica,
scooter?
even though it's harder to live here, because he wants to help his own people achieve a better quality of life. But he told me
Yes.
that first day.
I show them that.
Baby,
you know,
not
go down
in,
big.
not
Let
even
that
just
help
in
yourself by
Jamaica,
being
all
enough
around the
people to
world.
come
Yes.
and bring.
Yes.
And
Amen.
now it's our last day. We've come to say goodbye to Patrick. He cooks up some fresh caught snapper and the vegetables I got at the market. I'm gonna miss this. I devoured dinner before heading out into the sunset. And it was at some point that evening, as we were returning to the hotel, that it really hit me. When you're first injured, you think you'll be a burden to society. You feel helpless when your body is no longer the way it used to be. But now, Therese and Patrick, not only are they not a burden, they're giving back to society. And that's what I strive for too.
And I think this comes out in Patrick's story. I'm far enough along into my disability that I can now turn and help other people. I have been able to heal and fix everything that was broken with myself when I was injured 16 years ago. And so now it's my turn to pick up the mantle and push as hard as I can. Because otherwise, everything that's happened before has been for nothing. And that, I think, cannot happen.
Our environments are different, but we are united, not by our disability, but by our ability to reach out and change the world. The World Bank says we all benefit when everyone in society is given an opportunity to prosper.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I even created videos about it before. But now, I feel it.
Yes, Patrick. I know, ain't his name Patrick? Let me see. I gotta go back. Let's see if I know what I'm talking about. No, wait. What's his name, Patrick? I don't know what's his name, Patrick. I think his name was Patrick. I do know Patrick was the other dude's name. James. No, his name's James. The other dude named Patrick. Big love shout out to James and Patrick, to be honest. Yes, I love it. I love it. The fact that they had that bond and they both wanted to give back. I love it. I love it. Let's see. I mean, he kind of dived into what I wanted to go into for the next video as far as is it accessible out there? How is it? And they working on the little act for the disability and making stuff more accessible and knowing that's gonna take time. And that was this video was back in 2017, so it's been some time. So let's see if we can find an updated video. Get the fast Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities. James, I bet probably ain't got no updated video. Okay, so we're gonna go to something else. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie. When I used to think about traveling, like being younger, I always thought like either I was gonna get bullied or like I don't know, I was gonna get harassed. And I think that's more of what kind of shifted how I felt about traveling because it's just like that do happens. Hey, people get harassed and bullied in the everyday world and it don't even have to do with just traveling. Hey, you could just be going to the store or you could just be at a certain place and stuff get carried out of hand. And I feel like yeah, I could have always been the one to avoid that, but sometimes it got a lot to do with your surroundings, what type of environment you in. I mean, I love to feel like I love to be open to new things, but when the atmosphere is just a little off for me, I switch my focus and just let's get up to it. Let's go somewhere else. Let's do something else. Cause it's just like that takes the fun and the excitement away. Okay, hold on. This is not the same person. This is somebody else. Wheelchair two. This one not long ago. Let's see what this little airplane thing for him because I do want to kind of tell y'all my little story on what I went through and it was just like oh my god. I gotta unmute it. Yes, so true. It remind yeah, that's strong. That remind me of and it said I can't even figure his name and I post him in like all his pictures.
Now,
Look at my uniquely
the app
cheap
I like
page.
using is Lyft.
I posted a picture of him like doing like this. Garrison?
There's plenty of room to put in your
Somebody
wheelchair and your luggage.
Garrison, but
And
he
sometimes
just
when you
reminded
call
me of
regular
him
one,
like that
there's
strong.
stuff in the
Yeah.
trunk and you can't put
Matter
your
of
chair
fact, we're
there.
gonna check his
40 minutes,
video
put
out
your chair in the
next.
front seat. It can be a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the XL and we're going to get to the airport. Don't be afraid to ask your driver for help. They're going to see that you're in a wheelchair and they're probably going to want to help as much as possible. Sometimes even a little too much, but that's okay. Just direct them through the process.
Sometimes they
and they'll
don't
be more than
though.
welcome.
Sometimes they don't.
Chair and he's grabbing them. If you're unable to stand and load up your chair on your own, you can definitely just transfer in. When going to airports, especially if you're using an app, it's pretty specific on where it asks you where you want to go. So if you know where the terminal is, you can definitely tell the driver what terminal it is. If you don't know what terminal it is, you can usually select on the app what airline you're flying out of. Now, when you get there,
And I ain't gonna lie, like I don't got comfortable with like some Uber drivers because literally I don't know how to drive. I don't have my license yet. But as far as him getting in the car, yeah, I don't know. Like me, it's a little different. Yeah, standing up, do, but I can't lift that big old wheelchair. I just can't. I can't do it. So I'll ask the driver and I'll text them way before my ride. But I like some Uber drivers that I adapted to, like as far as like me experiencing them, and they always show up like Paul was talking about earlier. Like say for instance, if somebody new and I ain't never rode with them or they don't know me just like I don't know them, I text them while I'm trying to get the Uber, and I'm like I just asked them like, have they ever had um a rider that's in a chair, and like I don't know, that'd probably be the main question or the question to start off conversation. I don't know, cause I don't know. I just had the experience one time with somebody just gave me the wrong idea of who they were by what they said and how they came at me. But yeah, that's usually how I do it. And if it's like, yeah, I'm used to it, da da da. I asked them to put the chair in the trunk, and I'll just go ahead and get in the back seat, no problem, boom, just like that. But then, like say if it's somebody that's not willing to do that, I'm not gonna trip about it. I'm not gonna be emotional or nothing about it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me try something else out. If I don't call Project, I'm gonna call another Uber or another Lyft, and that's just how it's gonna go. But let's get back into the video.
There, you'll have them drop you off right next to the curbside check-in, and then we'll go from Excuse me, can I get some help with a bag? All right, so we got the curbside check-in valet to come grab the bag for us, and we're gonna go do a curbside check-in so everything will go smooth. Okay, so they got to inspect your.
Okay, now I think he's a little more used to receiving help. Me, like I remember, like when I went to the airport, I literally had my arm like to the back and was pulling like the long part of the suitcase. Yeah, and that's how I did it. And I mean, I didn't have a problem with it because it's just like I know I got to get myself from point A to point B. So come on, Tia, let's make it happen. So that's how I went about getting my duffel bag or suitcase or whatever to the in the airport.
Your wheelchair for prior damage to make sure that any damage that you have, you can't claim that they did, and if something does happen, you've got a way to measure if something did happen to you. So it's highlight, you can say silver with black carbon fiber accessories. Any major damages on that thing? No, just
and then I'm happy you said that because that's another point. I love to do it myself, and I think it's more of a pride thing, but I like to do it myself so I ain't gotta worry about nobody messing up nothing or damaging nothing I got in my bag or any of that nature, because I don't want to have to go into the whole thing of calling this person and calling that person and seeing if they can fix this or having to pay that. Like, no, I just carry my bag myself.
no bands, no.
And I don't blame him for doing it. He doing his thing.
Destination tag on suitcase. They will make a destination tag for my wheelchair once we get to the gate. We've got our bags checked in. We've got our boarding passes, and the next step is we go through security. Go ahead, use your.
Hey, I'm Tim.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy it's kind of on commercial right now because going through security was kind of a thing for me. I did not like that part at all. Let's see what he went through.
restroom before we go through security. The reason why I like doing that is because sometimes they make you lean left, lean right. They'll touch you in places and maybe if
like
they put too much
this,
pressure in
and
one
then you gotta
specific place,
do
or
it.
if you have to do a specific movement, you don't want to leak on yourself. Well, I'll be definitely peeing again a couple more times throughout the trip, right before the
They
plane
even made
boards.
you go up
I'll
like
go
that
again,
and
but
then
for
go
now,
like
I'm doing
that.
it right
Like
before we
they
go
be
through
on
security.
it.
Another important thing to remember is to stop drinking about 2 hours before your flight. If you need to take a sip of something every now and then, that's okay. Try to avoid caffeine because caffeine is a diuretic and it'll push fluid out of your bladder. You're not going to be able, once you're on the plane, to make it to the bathroom unless you can stand or walk a little bit. All right, when you're looking for your place in the TSA line, don't go to the original line. Go to the ADA access part of the line. ADA entrance. So you go, make sure you're using this to take off your shoes, go and get all of your keys and your wallet out of your pocket. Now I can stand and walk and go through the beeper, but I'm not going to do that today just to show you guys what a pat down looks like if you're a complete or someone who can't get out of their chair very easily. All right, so he's grabbing some of my bags for me. I'm going to do a pat down.
So I'm just going to explain to you very briefly. For the non-sensitive areas, your chest or back your legs, I'm down with the pencil in my head. For sensitive areas, you go in your buttocks.
And let me pause this, okay? When I was talking about that conversation with my dad, about like traveling or whatever and the stuff we go through traveling, we have never like took a plane ride together or like traveled that way together. It's always been a rental, a car, basically a vehicle. Basically, that's just been it. His car or rental, but pick it back. Okay, pick it back. Nobody said pick it up. But usually it's like a rental car or his car. But oh, I didn't pause it. But when he had said something about not getting out your wheelchair easily, no lie, I ain't even gonna lie. Like when he said that, my dad had popped up, like the first person that popped into my head, because I'm just like, that's the only person I actually kind of count on it when it comes to. That's the only person I actually count on as far as helping me when it got to do with like it being a crowd of people or surrounding and it's like you need help, because I don't feel like I'm too comfortable with just people like grabbing a hold to them, and I don't know, it's a hard topic and it got to do with a lot of things. So yeah, we just go press play. Press play.
So now he is doing a sniff test check on the wheelchair to make sure that there's no shady stuff on near or around the wheelchair. Good to go.
Now I think when I went, they didn't do all of that. They just did the arm thing to the side, to the front. They like patted underneath the scooter, like the seat part, and what else did they do? Yeah, it was this side, back, front, underneath the seat, and I think they asked me to stand up, and I stood up, and then they told me to sit back down because they wanted to see, of course, if I was sitting on anything, and that's how I got through.
I grab my bag from you? Perfect. Can I have you put it over toward the bench? Yeah, that'd be great. After it's finished up, they'll help you bring your bags to the designated area. You can put your shoes back on, put your bag back on, and get.
That's one thing I did not like, the shoe thing. Like, I understood it, but I just didn't like it. Because it's just like, you gonna help me put my shoes back on? Knowing that I didn't need help put my shoes back on, because it was just like prolonged and stuff. And then it's like, I don't want to be late for the flight, because it's like, I'm already dealing with the chair and having to carry the bag and doing this and doing that. And it's just like, But it's cool though. I made it through. I got on the plane. It was nothing. It wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. I can at least say that.
about getting around an airport in a wheelchair is finding all the elevators. Some places are really easy to find, like this one is right here in front of TSA, but sometimes you have to go back down these weird alleys and like behind stuff in parts of the airport you didn't even know existed before. That's okay. Ask questions or follow some of the people that are escorting other individuals in a wheelchair. They're called transporters. It's a transporter. And they're usually for like elderly or like overweight individuals, but if you need a transporter, you can definitely get one too. I don't want one personally because I just don't want one. But if you want to get one, you totally can. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can follow those folks or ask those folks. But this is real easy. We're just right here. All right, now I'm going to go check in at the gate to get a destination tag for my wheelchair and to let them know that a wheelchair user is going to be on their flight. Yeah. I need to grab a destination tag, please, for my wheelchair.
Oh, do you have the other tag?
Yeah, I've got this tag, the inspection tag. I just need a destination tag, please.
Lucky transport on your flight.
And no lie, like did I just fast forward it? I think I did fast forward it. But anyway, I do remember the tag thing because it kind of shocked me a little bit because of course that was my first time getting on the plane, but I remember they put the tag like on a back bar, like where they put the straps at, like when you ride in public transit. That's where they put my tag at to I guess for it to stay without getting ripped off or anything. But what shocked me is what's about to happen next. And I want to hear his story. Then, of course, I put my input on mine.
The aisle to the very front aisle and transfer it over into the seat, and then they can take your chair out.
No way, I missed the.
You've been broke all pandemic, and then your friend goes, "Oh, you didn't know you could claim $750 cash."
I missed the part. I gotta go back.
Need to let them know that I'm going to be here for early check-in and I'm on the plane. So guys, I'm going to that I'm going to be on this flight today. Okay. And I have two companions today. Okay. Is that all right?
From me, from you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everything's gravy. I've got my destination tag. I've got my claim ticket, my inspection. We're good to go.
No worries. And then, of course, you need an aisle chair, or are you okay just...
I'll be without an aisle chair as long as I can get on those first couple rows.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, because I can usually just scoot in and...
It's one of our newer jet, so in other words, my rest will come out.
Oh, that's fine. That's not an issue.
Okay, cool. No other thing.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, thanks, bud. He asked if I needed an aisle.
And I want to say I love that part of traveling when it comes to like flights, because if your chair is able to get through the airplane door, you can take it and just transfer from your chair to the seat with no problem. I love that, absolutely. And but with him, it looked like he didn't need an aisle chair. But I used the aisle chair because I didn't think my scooter would fit the length of the door space to get into the airplane. So I had gotten an aisle chair, and they had went ahead and put my scooter on the plane, well, the bottom section of the plane or whatever.
Chair. And I said no. One of the reasons I like flying Southwest so much is because you can, if you've got a small compact chair like I do, you can roll into the plane and even into the aisle, to the very front aisle, and transfer it over into the seat. And then they can take your chair out from there. Because on Southwest, you get to choose your own seat. Most of the airlines are not like that, but that's one of the reasons why I like choosing Southwest, because I know I'm very easily on and very easily off. It's not a big stress. And I kind of get to pick to sit up front every time, which is perfect in VIP. The reason why they always let ADA on first, on the very first, because they know and they recognize that it might take a little bit longer for us to get on the plane, especially if we need to use an aisle chair.
If you do anything, don't be shy.
Yeah.
So sometimes these can be pretty steep. Be very careful.
Yes. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. When I realized that's what it looked like when you get on an airplane, I had so much fun going down those things. Like on my way out of Ohio, and then my way out of New York. Was it? Yeah, out of New York. But that was so fun. I thought it was like a ramp, like a skateboard ramp kind of, but it was like I was on my scooter and I thought it was fun. It's like a real fast vroom, like I don't want to be extra, but it was fun.
Right, if you were on a flight that did require an aisle chair, this is where they would transfer you into the aisle chair.
Yep. Yeah, see?
You want to get everything off your chair that could fall off.
Yep.
Don't put anything underneath the plane that could fall off of the plane. You got a cushion, and then have flight attendant take this to where it's supposed to go. If you saw, it was real easy for me to transfer into the seat. Another perk of flying with Southwest is you get to pick your own seat. So I was first one on, so I got to pick the very first seat.
Yeah, I might have to start traveling with Southwest because I think the airplane I was on, it was like I had to switch. We had to switch seats. I had to switch seats with another person and the person that was with me. So it was like it was different. But yeah, I love the fact that his chair could fit through the thing because believe it or not, my scooter could not fit through the doorway. And I was kind of a little irritated because I never been in the aisle chair before. And I didn't know the experience with it. And I was just like, and it's like so skinny and different.
I'm now sitting on my cushion. It's always good to sit on your cushion so that way you can avoid all skin sores. Same thing with soft pants that I mentioned before. Wear some soft pants. Don't forget to still do your weight transfers. Then you got your bag with you. You can have the stewardess grab the bag and put it up above. And I've got my water bottle, my headphones, and I'm good to go for the rest of the flight.
Yeah, and these scenes right here. I remember I was so excited because it was new and it was different. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what this looked like. And I didn't know how I would feel. And it was just like different. I was taking so many pictures. Pictures of the clouds, right? Mm-hmm. Taking pictures of the clouds, the land from above. It was just beautiful. And I haven't traveled at night, but seeing them lights, oh, that's pretty.
These can be steep. If you need any help, don't be afraid to ask. So once you're on the plane, you really just have to sit there, unless of course you have to pee. So if you're gonna do this, you have to come prepared. You have to come with not just catheters, but a leg bag as well, or a bag for your pee to go in. You can ask the stewardess for a blanket, and then you put the blanket over top of you like a little tent, and then you can do a full cath session right there underneath your blanket. No one needs to know the difference. Even if your neighbors are weird, it's better than peeing on yourself. So you can cap right there, and then your bag of your pee bag, your urine, you can just stow away back in your bag.
Yeah, we
until you
gonna
can find a
skip
bathroom
this
to
part
dump it out in.
because
Are you serious? That's no.
I don't go to that. So, and
And he had to do that a couple of times. Make sure you get your weight shifts in. That's the most important. You don't need to be catching a skin sore on your trip. And hopefully you don't have to pee underneath the blanket tent. But if you do, that option is available.
you know, the train. That's one thing I haven't experienced. A train, like where I live at, they don't have none. Not like New York, other places. We don't have trains.
Go towards the eerie back
To
hallway of elevators.
Real boy. What's his name? Willie Boy?
We going home. We got a driver. So we fancy like that.
Want to be fancy? Hold your pinky up like this. The higher you hold it, the fancier you are.
We got the baggage claim. I got my bag. Today we have a driver, so we're not going to have to worry about calling a lift. That's something you'll probably have to do. If I was here by myself without a driver and had to call a lift, I would probably find someone in these areas who's like a baggage handler, or maybe even the person who was going to push me, like those wheelchair ballet guys, and see if they can help me take this out to the curbside pickup or whatever my ride was going to be. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment down below about what your favorite part of this video was, or some of your top travel tips for other wheelchair users if you yourself are.
I love it that he showed his experience and how it was for
down below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Wheels to walk. Wheels to walking. I'm about to go follow him, and we probably gonna end this video. But I love seeing people like me share their experience. Like, I don't know, because I mean, it's not even so much of being a lesson or having something to learn. Just, I think it's the motivation and the faith that kept them on, like, I didn't even say that right. Having that faith, knowing that you are who you are, but you ain't gonna let that wheelchair stop you. That's what I like. That's exactly what I like. But let's see. Let's try to find him. I think it was Wheels to walking. I think that's him. Oh no, it's the wrong guy. Gotta do it over. Boy, get down. Yep, here you go. Big shout out to him. Y'all go follow I don't know his name. But go follow him. I love his spirit and I like what he doing. I would love to meet him one day. One day maybe we go on a flight together just for the hee ha ha moment and just share different experience we've had knowing our lifestyle being in, well, with this whole handicap name that we all gotta get, well, that we've gotten used to it in a way, even though I don't like it, but we've gotten used to it. So yeah, that'd be dope to meet him one day. I guess y'all see me in another video. Traveling. I just wanted to kind of get a taste of what I want to do in the next year or two and stuff. And Of course, you gotta do a little history because you know not everywhere is wheelchair accessible. And the story I was telling earlier about my dad, me and my dad and stuff we've been through, just trying to me seeing how he act here, like where we're from, different from like going other places. I want to just see it for myself a little bit, so then when it really happened, I won't be like, "Oh my god," type thing. But anyway, uniquely she, if it ain't him, her, them, then yes, it's probably me. How about you scroll down, put your subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I drop a video, and I'll see you next time. Be the best you can be because you never know whose life you can bless. Peace out.
Peace out.